Hello everyone, it's Sir Chris back to give you another lecture on closed hashing, and this time we will discuss the different variations in closed hashing. So let's start with the most basic one. Let's start with variation 1. So variation 1 involves placing the synonyms of your specific value into a separate area. And it looks something like this. Your dictionary is now a structure that contains an array which represents the prime data and a synonym area. Prime data is, let's think of this as the head or the first value or element that you are inserting. Synonym area is the location where your collided elements go into. How many arrays are there? This would have been a good question in class, but because we're not in class, I'll tell you, there's only one, because you'll notice the indices go from 0 to 9 and 10 to 19. So this is actually a single array of 20 elements, split into two different areas, the prime data area and the synonym area. So how do we initialize it? It's as simple as setting all of the values to empty. In this case, we could have just defined a constant, or we could have defined an enum that represents empty. We could also include deleted, but essentially, initializing the dictionary is essentially setting all of your prime data area values into empty and setting your last value to be the last prime data entry area or last index of the prime data area, or the unused value here. So it could depend on what the instruction says. But in this case, we're representing the last to be the last value in the prime data area. So let's take a look at what happens when we insert the elements. So remember, when we hash something, we get the value where it should belong. So hash of A is 3, therefore A should belong in index 3. Hash of B is 9, therefore B belongs in 9. Now take a look. All of the values by default are to be inserted into our prime data area first. The only time we insert into the synonym area is when we have a collision. So for example, hash of D is 3. When I reach index 3, I see a letter A. So I have a collision here. And it says, oy, na may tao dire. So, asa naman mo lugar si D? That's the purpose of your synonym area. We will automatically move our synonym to the synonym area. So what we did is, we increment the last, then insert the element in the synonym area. Next, E is supposed to be at 9. But when you check 9, 9 is not empty. Therefore, I have to insert into the synonym area. My previous last was 10. Do I still need to go to 10? No, I don't. I just increment and then insert the element. So this is variation 1. If you have a collision, you are now able to go directly to the synonym area and insert. There is no displacement because we are no longer checking the previous synonyms. We are only incrementing last and then inserting. So, it's actually pretty good. Problems will occur later though. So let's keep going. Let's insert F at index 0. F0 was empty and I inserted F. G is at index 3. So 3 is occupied, so I increment my last, which was 11, made it 12, and inserted G. Very straightforward. The problem comes when you start to find or delete an element. So let's try to find the element. C is at index 4. I found it. That's an O sub 1 operation. H at index J is equal to 3. So we start at index 3. Is J equal to A? No, it's not. So I will go to the synonym area. Is J equal to D? No. Is E equal to J? No. Is G equal to J? No, it's not. Did I reach the last element? Yes, I did. So there's nothing more to check. So J was not found. If I look for K, K is at index 0, but it's not. So that means I go to the synonym area and check. Is D K? Is E K? Is G K? All of them are not K. Did I reach the last? No. Therefore, K is not in the list. So what is the problem? It's very slow. Every time I search for a member that isn't there, I need to go to the synonym area and look for it. It's very slow. So, we will keep going. Let's delete the letter C. Deleting from the prime data area is very simple. I just set the value to be deleted. But what if I delete from this specific value? What should be done? Now, you would think, oh sir, what if I shift all elements down and update the last? You could do that, but the better way to do it is, remember that the dictionary is a set data structure, it's not a list. And in a set, order does not matter. So that means, rather than shifting all the elements up, which would have taken a lot of computational power if there were, let's say, 1 million elements to shift up, you can easily just update the value of the element you'll delete to be the value of the last element. So to delete the letter D, all I needed to do was move G to index 10, update the last to 11. So what is the problem? The main problem here was every time we search, it takes a long time. So that brings us to variation 2. So in variation 2, we introduced the concept of link. And what is this starting to look like? It's kind of looking like cursor-based. It is, because take a look. So now I have all of my empty elements, and I have a link to your synonym. So take a look at what happens when I insert. A is at index 3, B is at index 9, and C is at index 4. Because they don't have any synonyms yet, I will set their links to -1. Very simple. Next, when I insert the letter D, it's supposed to be at index 3. So what I did was, I checked, is there an element in 3? Index 3? Yes, there is. So I insert into the increment last and insert, just like with version 1 or variation 1. But rather than stopping there, I need to update the value of my link to be equal to the value before, which was -1. And I update the value of my prime data to be the value that points to the index of the next element. Very simple. Next, we insert E. E was supposed to be at index 9, but because it's not there, insert like in version 1. Increment last, insert there. Get the value of my link to be the value of the previous element, which was -1. And then let the previous element link point to the new value. It's very similar to our cursor-based, kind of looks like a linked list. So this is our version 2 implementation. Now take a look at the beauty of this when we keep inserting elements. So F is at index 0, it has no synonym, so let's set -1. G is at index 3, so it goes to 3, there is something here, so I go to index 12. Oh, sorry, I don't go to index 12, this was still index 10. So I go to index 10, I found a D, and then I found a -1. Therefore, G did not exist, so I will insert my G here at my last. I feel like I didn't even need to go to index 10. Please remove that. We could have just inserted G directly, And remember, G gets the value of the previous element. So G gets 10. And then 10 gets the value of negative 1. So you update your elements as you go. So G gets this value, and A gets the value of where G was inserted. So take a look. G was inserted. It got the value of the previous element. And I update A to be pointing to 12 now. So if I take a look and I'm searching for D, wait, I don't have a D, so never mind, let's just keep going. So let's look for C. C is index 4, and I'm searching until I find a negative 1 link, and this is the case. So C was found, Hj equal to 3, so I start at index 3, which is A. A points to index 12, which is G. G points to index 10, which is D. And D points to negative 1, which is end of list. Or end of our list, yeah. So, J was not found. And unlike version 1, wherein we had to search all of the elements, we only had to search the links between these 3 elements. Next is find K. K is at index 0. But the next element is negative 1, so I know to stop. So what is the improvement? We don't have to keep searching the synonyms. We only search the links. If the link does not point to something, or you does not find the element from the link of elements, then the element is not found. Let's delete. So if I delete letter A, it's at index 3, I just set it to deleted. If I delete letter D, what should be done? So in the previous implementation, to delete D, I would have just moved G to index 10 and updated my last to become 11. Now, in this specific implementation, because this insertion is sequential, moving my last to go back here doesn't actually work because I might end up overwriting 11. So what do we do? If we are to delete D, we simply need to cut it off from the link. So to cut it off, just instead of G pointing to 10, let this point to negative 1. So now your list would have been A goes to 12, G goes to negative 1, so D is no longer found. I can't update my last. This is essentially wasted space. And that's the problem of this closed hashing variation. Any deleted element in the synonym area is considered deleted space. Okay, what if gibalhin ako ang last padung dire? Let's say my last became 10 or 9 rather. When I insert here, I would technically delete these elements moving forward because the next time I insert, they would think that the last is at 10, so it inserts at 11, and so on. So it doesn't work. So what does variation 3 do? It's exactly the same as variation 2, except the synonym areas are linked together. So I link all of the elements together, and I'll use avail instead of last. So this is the first available element in the synonym area. So take a look here. Insert is exactly the same. When I insert D, my available cell is 10. So I'll insert D at index 3. I couldn't find D is this, there's a collision between A and D. So I go to the synonym area and take the first available cell, which was cell 10, inserted D, and set the link to negative 1. If I insert E at index 9, the available cell is 11, so I set this to be 11, and insert E at 11. If we insert F, start at index 0, there was nothing there, so quickly insert. G is at index 3, and this is just the same as version 2. A points to 12, because the available cell is 12. G gets the value of the previous link, which is 10. So it gets 10, and D gets negative 1. So take a look at the link. So now the beauty of this comes when we delete an element. So let me just pause the video for a moment. So I'm back. I just had to sneeze. So anyways, going back. So what happens when I delete letter D? Take note, what happens is I'm going to remove D. So what I need to do is actually, I need to set the available node of the element I'm deleting to be linked to that element. So at index 10, I set the avail 13. And then I update avail to be 10. So take a look at what happened. My avail became 10, and 10 links to 13. So what does this mean? It means that when I insert something again, let's say I'll insert a letter, I already have G, so E, F, G, H. Let's say H is supposed to be inserted at index, let's say at index 4. So what would happen is, I'll get my avail, which is 10. I insert the letter H. And take a look. My avail becomes 13. So that means the link still continues. So this implementation actually keeps the ability or removes the bad aspect of variation 2, wherein deleted elements couldn't be reused, and in this case, it can now be reused. So, for your exercise, guys, write the definition of the data type of the dictionary for each of the 3 variations, 1, 2, and 3. I'll give you a heads up though. Most likely in the exam, it's gonna be variation 3. Because why would we implement something that has flaws? Variation 1 has a big flaw. It's very slow. Variation 2 is a big flaw as well. I can't reuse deleted elements. So it's likely, in practicality, variation 3 is the best one to master. So for each of the variations, write the code of initialize, member, insert, and delete. And thinking beyond, how can the different closed hashing variations be implemented in secondary memory? You don't really need to think about that. But yeah, that's it. So to conclude, variation 1, to speedrun everything we discussed, if you want to skip to this part of the video, you can. I don't recommend it. Variation 1 is just set the synonym area to be separate. If there is a collision, insert into the last of the synonym area. The bad part of this is it's slow, because if you look for something, you need to go through the entire synonym area. Variation 2 removes the problem of slowness because it links elements together. It links elements together. So you don't need to search through the entire synonym area, only through the linked elements. But the problem of variation 2 is that deleted elements can no longer be reused, which is bad because we'll be wasting space. And at some point, our dictionary becomes full. So here we have variation 3, wherein all of the synonym areas are connected, like a cursor-based implementation. And every time we delete an element, we just update the avail to be, update the link to be the value of avail, and update avail to be the element there. So the deleted element still exists, but it's going to be deleted the next time it's inserted. So to insert H, let's say H is supposed to be at 9, what you do, or let's say, H is supposed to be at 9. So what you can do is, insert H here, update avail to be 13, update this to be 11, and you have inserted H. Amazing. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, do let me know. Thank you and goodbye.